I am going to teach you how to make some money with your story. And so shout out to all of our people who are watching online, everybody who's live and direct. Y'all made the right decision because I'm literally going to teach you how to make $1 million. Literally. Like I promise you, I'm going to show you how to make $1 million. What you do with it, look, information on me, execution on you. What you do with it is your business. But I'm gonna literally show it to you, and we'll go from there. So if you're online, you're watching this, congratulations. This is I'm giving you a lot of game. This is game that's gonna change your life forever, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm gonna start with sharing your legacy. I want to give you 6 reasons why a book is the easiest way to monetize your personal brand, right? Regardless of what you do, I don't care what you do. If you have breath in your body, you should have a book, and a book is going to help you monetize your personal brand, right? And so legacy is broken down. So it's really to help you build your legacy, right? Legacy is broken down into 6 steps. So number 1 is L, which is books allow you to live forever, right? So books allow you to live forever. And so a book is an asset. How many people ever heard of Think and Grow Rich, right? Think and Grow Rich was written 84 years ago. And right now, if you go to Google, if you go to Amazon and you look up the book, I promise you that Think and Grow Rich is still a #1 bestseller. Napoleon Hill died in the 70s, but we still know his name, right? It's because books help you live forever. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen Covey, he died in 2012. But when he died a billionaire, right? And the billions of dollars that he's made, he's also left that for his family as well. So they still run the Covey Franklin Company, which is a training organization that spun off of his book that he wrote, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Who knows who this is? Right? Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is dead. I don't know if y'all knew that, right? Dr. Seuss died. But Dr. Seuss will still be read by millions of households every time a child is born, right? So it helps with your legacy. Number 2 is E. So it's legacy. Number 2 is E. Books are going to help you exponentially grow your authority. And so whatever you do in your personal brand, you want to have authority, because people are not going to pay for anything or anyone or pay your personal brand if they don't think that you're the expert, or if they don't think that you're the authority in your space. And so, I don't know who Marquetta Breslin is, but if I was going to book, somebody to talk in a hairstylist convention, am I going to book the hairstylist, or am I going to book the person who has a book that teaches you how to, fully book the hairstylist guide to building, a client attraction system that works, right? Most likely I'm going to go with the person who has the book, right? Because what is the root word in authority? Author, right? And so if you want to be the authority, it's important that you are the author, right? And so same thing. If I was a agent, or if I was running a conference for real estate agents, am I going to get the real estate person, or am I going to get the person who wrote the book of Yes, the ultimate real estate agent conversion guide, right? And so these are examples of how writing a book makes you the authority, right? Like if you wanted to get a loan, or if you wanted to learn about money, are you going to go to the bank, or are you going to buy the book Mine Right? No, I'm just joking. Right. But a book is the easiest way to promote your business, because again, no matter what you do, you'll become the authority. I remember when I first retired from banking, I used to go to different places and say, hey, I want to talk to your audience. I want to give my expertise. And I would go in and say, hey, I'm a former banker. I'm a former banker. I used to be a CEO, and I want to come talk to your people. And they would be like, nah. They would like literally be like, no, I could go to get a current banker. Like, why I need you to speak? But then when I wrote the book, and I would say, hey, my name is AshCash. I'm the author of Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom. I want to come talk to these people. They're like, oh, they roll out the red carpet, right? The difference was, when you come from a place of power, right? When you say, I used to do this, so this is my experience, it almost feels like you're selling yourself. But when you come from a place of authority where, look, I'm the author, I wrote the book, Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom, they're like, oh my God, right? Like if I was a college athlete and I used to play D1, and I say, hey, I used to play D1. I want to go talk to your students about how to get their mental wellness together. Yeah, all right, they might hear you out. But if you say, hey, I am the author of, D1, D1 Your Way to Wealth. I just made that up. But if that was the book, and you go to a college and say, hey, I am a former D1 athlete. I put this guide together that's going to help all of your students get mental wellness, financial wellness, spiritual wellness, all the wellness that they need so that after college, they will be on the right track, on the right path to prosperity, right? Connecting yourself as the authority is always going to allow people to see your value more when you're the authority, when you're coming from a place of power, and books do that for you. Number 3, books help you grow your influence, right? It allows you to get unsolicited leads. And so when you think about books, it's the one thing that allows people to share information without you knowing about it, right? I remember I was talking to a young lady, giving her advice on LinkedIn, and she didn't even realize that her son was reading one of my books, right? So we were having this conversation. I was giving her advice. And I would say like a week or two later, I wrote a book called Hustlenomics based on, the late, great Nipsey Hussle, and gave some advice on how to own, how to create a business and things of that nature. And she was like, you know what? It just dawned on me. My son came in the house with this book called Hustlenomics, and the author said AshCash, and then I'm talking to you, and I'm like, it just dawned on me that you're the same guy, right? Because what happens is when you write a book, people connect with the information more than they connect with the person. So they're going to spread out your philosophy, right? I read Think and Grow Rich every single year. I don't read it because of Napoleon Hill. I read it because of the content that's in it. And I tell people about the book over and over and over again because people expect you, right, to speak good about yourself. But if somebody else is doing the work for you, it allows you to become the authority, right? I'm standing here in front of you today because Dr. Sori's heard about me through somebody else who heard about me through somebody else who said, hey, let me reach out to AshCash, right? And so your book allows you to, expand your authority. Number 4, a book allows you to accelerate your income growth. And so you can get paid beyond your books. And shortly, I'm going to show you how to make at least 15 streams of income from your book, right? Number 5, it helps you create your own events. I've seen Robert Kiyosaki do this very successfully, where he wrote one book and then created other things around the book that, his events, to the point where he has events that he's not even at. Like he'll have a Rich Dad event and then you'll go and you'll be like, yo, where's Robert Kiyosaki? You'll be like, oh, nah, this is one of his certified trainers. Like, certified trainer? I came to see Robert. Number 6, yield to expert disrespect. Get what you're worth. This is a big one for me because before, people would ask me advice or ask me to come do stuff or whatever the case may be. And they used to use this curse word at me. What do you think the curse word is? Free? Maybe. It's exposure. They're like, oh, you should come. It'll give you exposure. I'm like, I'm cool. Let me get a check. Can I get a check? Keep the exposure. Let's change the exposure for a check, right? But once I became an author, what I did was I've written 12 books now. So there really isn't anything you could pick my brain about. right? Because if you want to pick my brain, all right, here, let me give you a book. Oh, you want to learn credit repair? All right, what the FICO 12 steps to repairing your credit. Oh, you want to, okay, here, yeah, you want to learn about, the laws of the universe, how to manifest? All right, mind right, life right. How to manifest your dreams through the laws of the universe, right? And so I've taken all my knowledge and I put it into books. And so now I'm able to not only get paid for what I do, but I'll get the value out of it as well, right? And so legacy, these are the 6 steps. It helps why you should have a book. Helps you live forever, exponentially grow your authority, grow your influence, accelerates your income growth. It helps you create your own events, and it helps you to yield to expert disrespect. All right, and I'm going to go quickly because I want to make sure I get through everything. And so when you think about your book, you should start with a business first. And when you start with the business, you think about the different metamorphoses that a butterfly goes through. It goes through the beginning stages, which is the egg. Then it becomes a caterpillar. Then it becomes a chrysalis, where it's trying to break out the shell. And then it becomes a beautiful butterfly. Well, the 4 stages of metamorphosis in your business before you even write your book is, I want you to create your book as an entry level, right? So either it's going to be a free thing or low cost, right? That's the entry level. But then you also want to create something that's an examination level, right? So that's a lead magnet that lets customers know that you're a little better and then learn from your expertise. So that could be like a online course or something that they'll pay for. Then you have the elastic level, right? And they know, like, and trust you, and they're willing to make a small commitment. So you create some type of online community where they pay a monthly fee to get access to you, right? And then lastly, you want the exclusive level, right? Where you are the answer, and they're willing to pay whatever it takes to get you to the results that they want, right? So I don't do one-on-ones anymore. So what I do is I create a group session, right? Where if somebody needs help with something that I can provide them, then if they want exclusive level, they got to pay for exclusive level, right? So I have programs that start at $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year, where people will pay, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to get access to my information, because I know my information is going to work. I know if I work with somebody one-on-one on writing a book, that they will make 6 figures or more. And so I charge accordingly to that. But if somebody wants the same information, but they just can't get me, then get my course. My course is going to give it to you. Or if you want to get access to me in a group setting, then all right, get my abundance community, right? Or if you want to start off just entry level, then do free or low cost. And so that's literally the model that I'm telling you to take, right? Write the book, write the lead magnet, create the course, create something that's a monthly fee, something that they could get monthly, and then create this exclusive level where they can help, that you can help them one-on-one, right? So like the example I gave earlier of the D1 athlete, right? That person could potentially create a high-ticket item where they work with colleges one-on-one and say, oh, you're having issues with your student athletes? Let me help your particular school, and I'm going to charge you $50,000 for that. Then create a monthly commitment where you get all of the different schools together and create a resource where college students, D1 athletes, can go and create a support system nationally, right? Then do the examination level, create a course. The same information that you would give a college one-on-one, create a course where now you could sell that to the different colleges for those who don't want the exclusive. And then now you write the book. The book is the lead magnet, right? The book is the lead magnet where you give it to all of the colleges. You sell it to the colleges. You do speaking engagements at the college. But the point of that is to funnel them into the other 3. Oh, I just made somebody $1 million. All right. 15 streams of income. I'm going to run through this real quick, right? So here are the 15 streams of income that you can create from a book. Number 1, physical book. Right? And that's the obvious one. You write the book, you can make money off a physical book. Number 2, audiobooks. A lot of people shy away from audiobooks, but they're very, very important. I'm always in the car. I have no time to read. Right? Think about my truck drivers out there. Think about my Uber drivers, my Lyft drivers. Think about the people who just don't have time to physically read. So you're missing out on a whole audience if you don't focus on that. Number 3, ebooks. right? Ebooks are different from the digital version of your book because with an ebook, it allows you to take information that's normally in the whole book and break it down into smaller portions. Number 4, a self-study online program. So we talked about that. If you take the information that's in your book, you could break it down into a self-study online program. Number 5, live coaching programs. Get a group together. And based on the information that's in your book, you can now create a live coaching program. Number 6, a certificate program, right? We talked about Robert Kiyosaki. If you have a principle or you have a way of doing things, you can actually teach people, charge people to teach your methodology. So now instead of you going around to different colleges, this your certificate program certifies people who then go to the college and then they paid you something to teach your methodology. Number 7, keynote speaking. Keynote speaking is a great way, depending on what level you are. You can go, you can start at 7,000, 10,000, 25,000, right? It's a lot of money in keynote speaking. Number 8, content marketing, right? When a brand, like when I first wrote my book, What the FICO, 10 laws of 12 steps of repairing your credit, a lot of the credit monitoring places would hire me, like Experian and Credit Karma, to represent banks. Banks would hire me to represent their credit cards and things of that nature. So that's money. Once you create yourself as the authority, you can now be an ambassador for these companies. Number 9, live events. Number 10, conferences. And so this is a quick roadmap, right? So if I use numbers that are modest, if I use modest numbers, meaning 1,000 a year for all of these things, if you add those all up, that's a $1.3 million game plan right there. And it's not hyperbole. Like I'm not even exaggerating. I'm saying that literally, if you sold 1,000 books, which is like 80 a month, if you did 80 ebooks, if you did 80 self-study guides, if you had a live coaching program with just 100 people, if you did 25 people with a certificate program, if you had 2 people take you on content marketing, if you had 100 people into your live event, or 2,000 people into your conference, that's literally 1.3 million. Number 11, subscription programs. You can create a subscription program. Number 12, high-end consulting, where people pay you for your time. Number 13, mastermind groups, where you get a bunch of people together who pay a lot of money, and then you work with them as a group but individually. Number 14, joint ventures. So now partnering with other people. So I never say partner with your strengths. I would say partner with your weakness. So if I'm strong here and somebody's strong someplace else and I'm weak, let's come together and let's build a company together. And lastly, affiliate programs, right? So now you create this program. Now you allow other people to sell your program for a percentage. And all of that is through your book. Got 14 seconds. Can I keep going? All right. And so this is showing you, if you followed all 15, if you did all 15 of these, that's $3.5 million that you could create. If that's the only thing you focused on, right? If that's the only thing you focused on, then you could create 15 streams of income from your book. But it starts with your book, right? And so I want to give you the good news. If you don't have a book, you can produce one in 30 days or less. Look, y'all thought I was going to leave y'all hanging. I was going to give y'all all this, make all this money and be like, all right, y'all, thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. But nah, I'm gonna give you the good news, right? If you don't have a book, you can produce one in 30 days or less. How, Sway? Right? You don't have the answers. I just wanted to say that. So here's the bonus, right? 5 steps to writing your book in 30 days or less. I call it SHARE. I'm an acronym guy, so I love acronyms. So this is called SHARE. Take a picture of this. This is all you need. If you follow all 5 of these steps, you'll be able to write your book in 30 days or less, right? So number 1, I want you to start with the end in mind. And so what I mean by starting with the end in mind is figure out what does your knowledge, right? Who does your knowledge help? So start with the end. If you're in college right now, you can write a book to high school students. If you're in high school, you can write a book to parents who want to help their kid, right? So I don't care. if you retired from a company, you can write, like, I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you're experiencing. Every single person in this room watching me live on the screen, you have a story and somebody needs your story. So start with the end in mind. Take an assessment. Who are you? What have you overcome? And how can you teach, or what value does what you've overcome help with people, right? That's number one. Number two is I want you to highlight the steps it takes to get to that end. So now that you realize who you are, what your value is, now I want you to highlight the steps. What are the steps it's going to take? So let's say, for instance, so I have a book that I wrote called From the Block to the Bank. And my goal of writing this book, because I said, you know what? A lot of people see my success, but they think that I grew up in Parsippany, New Jersey. No disrespect to Parsippany. I never even been there. It just sounds like a nice place, right? But they think they don't know that I grew up, that I got kicked out of school 4 times. That I got kicked out in the 1st grade, in the 5th grade, in the 9th grade, expelled in the 10th grade, right? They didn't know like I had run-ins in the streets and things of that nature. So I said, you know what? The end is I want to talk to formerly incarcerated men and women. I want to talk to at-risk youth, and I want to talk to anybody who's had any circumstance that made them think that they can't achieve success, and that's what I want to talk to. So I started with the end in mind, and then I worked backwards. I highlighted the steps. So what steps did it take me to get from the 8-year-old kid in the projects who's packing bags to, you know, one of the top financial educators on the planet, right? Like I just look, my podcast is all around the world, right? 4 million views, 500,000 downloads in South Africa and Mali and all these different places. So it's not just here in the US. How did this kid from the projects do that? And so I put it all in the book, right? And so you do the same, right? I need you to highlight how do you help somebody get the result that you want them to get. Number 3, I want you to abandon the computers and speak your book into existence. And what do I mean by that? I mean, stop writing. I don't write books anymore. All I do is dictate. And so now that I started with the end in mind, now that I highlighted the steps that's going to take people to get there, I write it as if I'm teaching, like right now. Like, I give you a secret. Right now, like this presentation I just gave you, if Dr. Soares gave me the tape of the video of what I just said, but I'm my own videographer just in case he doesn't give it to me, right? If he gives me the tape of what I just said, I could take the audio of it. There's an app called Otter, Otter, right? I live by it. I need a endorsement deal at some point because I always shout them out, right? But Otter, I could take that video, plug it in. I'm talking about this one right now, the one that I was just in front of you for 20 minutes. I could take the audio from that, plug it into Otter. Otter's going to take my voice and make it an actual text. And then I'm going to take that text, and number 4, I'm going to review the text, and I'm going to review everything that I just said. I'm going to add anything, I'm going to take anything out. And then number 5, I'm going to get a team to edit it for me. Right? I enlist a team to create the magic. I get an editor, I get a graphic designer, I get all of that, and I can literally write a book called Share. How to write a book in 30 days or less. From this presentation, though, from this very like you just watched me write a book, and you ain't even know it, right? And that's how you do it, right? You start with the end in mind. You highlight the steps that's going to take you to get there. You dictate. You pretend as if. And you don't even have to pretend. You could do it live. You could volunteer to speak to a group of people just to make sure you get the right reaction and teach it, right? And as you're teaching it, make sure you got somebody recording it, and then take that recording, transfer it into text. Now you get somebody to review it, or you review it, make sure everything is there. You add or remove anything you need to remove or add, and then you get a team to do it for you. Now you got a book. No excuse. No excuse. And so I'm going to leave y'all with this. Amazon Prime. Anybody has Amazon Prime? When you order something from Amazon Prime, when do you expect it to get there? Right? Whatever date they tell you is going to get there, you expect it to be there. How would you feel if you ordered something and your delivery person, the person, or let me ask a different question. Does your delivery person have the right to hold back your package because they don't like the way the box looks? No. Well, what if it's bent and they're like, you know what? The box is bent, so all right, let me go get a different box. Can they do that? Why not? Because it's not their box. It's not theirs, right? In fact, you don't even want the box. You don't even want the box. You ordered this package. You want what's inside the box, right? And so you can't unhear this. That's you. That's what you're doing with your story. Somebody is praying for you. Somebody is waiting for you. Somebody wants something. They ordered it. They prayed to God. They say, "Hey, God, I need this," and God said, "Oh, I got you." That's what God said, though. God said, "Yo, I got you. I know the perfect person. I put the perfect person through the perfect set of circumstances, through the perfect set of things at the perfect time to deliver the perfect message and the perfect thing for you. And you holding back the package because you don't like the way the box look. You don't like the way the box look. The box is bent. You don't like brown. You don't like the color. It's holiday time. I want this package to be red. The nerve of you holding back somebody else's package, right? So we go through it, but it's not ours, right? I don't stand in front of you. I stand in front of you because I owe. Because God said, yo, Ash, I need to use you. God was like, listen, I'm gonna put you through a certain set of circumstances that most people don't get out of, right? Most people will either die or go to jail in your same exact circumstance, though. Nothing different. No edits. I'm gonna put you through the same thing that I have a friend who's doing 65 years to life in jail and will never come home. He didn't murder anybody. He was there, though. He was at the wrong place, wrong time, and he will never see the light of day, right? And so God said, look, Ash, I'm going to give you the same exact circumstance that I give everybody else, but most people don't get out. But it's not for you, though. It's not for you to make all this money and then buy a big house, kick your feet up, and just hang out. Nah, because I need to use you, Ash. Because I need to remove the excuses. Because I know somebody who's going through what you're going through is going to say, well, you don't understand. Oh, well, you had both parents. No, I didn't. Oh, well, you went to a good college. No, I didn't. Well, right? Fill in the blank. And so right now where you sit at this particular moment, you have a story that somebody is actually waiting for. And so do with this information as you will, but you can't unhear this. And it's time to put your story out. Forget about the package. Stop trying to be perfect. Nobody cares about perfect but you, right? In fact, that's your ego. And Wayne Dyer says ego means edging God out, right? God made you imperfectly perfect. And I promise you, the person that needs to hear your story, the person that you're going to help, that person needs what's inside the package. So you got to give it to them. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.